my leg, my hand underneath his leg. He's not even going to be here. He's going to step back. So we need that disguise. We need to make him move. So when we lift and make him walk, that's the time where I can now regrip, scoop circle my left arm under, and then move into full X guard. Full X guard is obviously we have a scoop on the leg, gripping above the knee. You can grab below the knee. I have always preferred to grab above the knee in case you want to get in on the legs. You have control of the knee line from the beginning. Down here, you do not. So I'm a big fan of making sure that we have control of that knee. If I decide to forego this or get into the legs later, we have that knee, that over the knee grip, all right? And then our legs are the same. Remember, X guard is the same philosophy. Whether I'm in overwrap or whether I'm in full X, I am constantly moving my training partner. And then, of course, you have the exact same sweeping mechanisms. You just land with the leg in a different scenario. So whether I move to the seated position, I get up with the knee on the stomach, knee in the middle, or I just move back underneath and start attacking heel hooks on one side or the other. Okay, they're both fine positions there from our full X. So we have the ability to go from overwrap to full X. When else could we use this from overwrap into full is when his hands are on the mat. So I've got him pulled into overwrap X, same as we had before. I put Lance's hands on the mat with an extension and a lever. And now, because of the lightness of the legs, again, I can hold with one hand, my elbow can go underneath and easily scoop inside. And now I have that over the knee grip. And then if he stays grounded like this, again, we can start moving him around. If he starts to get back up on his feet, then we can then go back into our tripod sweeps, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's a fine way to get into full X as well if you don't really prefer overwrap X and you like full X, either moving through movement, we get it, or through putting his hands on the floor. Where else can we do this from shin to shin is when we have ashigarami. One of the finest entries into full X is from our irimi ashigarami. And so if we move from an irimi, we'll just pretend that I entered already. We move from an irimi ashigarami into a full X. When do we do it? Especially if he's throwing my foot down off the hip. It's as he throws that, we rock underneath our training partner and then we lock in our full X. Again, when we use this, when someone takes your foot off and engages their hip forward, take your elbow to your center line, rock your foot back so my head goes excessively underneath his legs, and then we lock into our full X. Use that rocking motion from an irimi ashigarami to enter your hand through the middle and around the legs. What will happen is it'll let you guys get inside that leg a little easier than just trying to pummel my arm in. So again, if I use it from an ashigarami, he takes the foot off, we circle our head around that shin, it'll let you guys get in there really nice and smooth. And then now we're in full X and we can begin moving him around. Okay? The fourth scenario that we have to get into full X is one that I touched on in the very beginning of this tutorial is to spin. This is a fine time to enter into X guard on that spin. So let's just review that real briefly. And remember, when we're shin to shin, the scenario really is that leg is really far back. And I'm preferring not to come up on a single. I like X guard, so I'm going to spin. Okay? When we spin, just remember, this left foot kicks up to that corner of the room. My right arm is going to become my scoop arm, and we're going to fly underneath there. When you fly underneath there, your training partner will be off balance. Remember, that's the goal. I want him off balance. That gives my legs time to enter into the X guard. So again, we sweep underneath there. I off balance him. He almost falls into the X guard with all of that movement back and forth. Just remember, if he starts to put his hips in and his posture up, it's an easy time to take him over with our tripod sweep, which we can do overwrap tripod or full X guard tripods. These are very, very useful tools anytime someone has hands on the mat or moving forward and then they shift their weight backwards. exceptional tools from these scenarios. So entering into the X guard, you have many options, either from shin to shin by pulling, or from shin to shin by spinning. Both are fine tools to get to the X guard. Now, we went through this a little with overrep X, actually quite a lot with overrep X already. That's the way we're going to briefly touch on this. Full X, we can hit the same sweep as we did with overrep X by lifting up, pulling the foot out from underneath him. And then also there's a very useful tool, especially with the gi. With the gi, you're going to find it'll be more likely for your training partner to bend down and start pulling the collar down. And that's when you really can get that foot on their stomach and begin elevating them. But both of these techniques translate directly into the full X today. So I just wanted to mention them briefly for you, so you make sure that if you really are liking getting into full X, or you find yourself here off of shin to shin or the spinning, that you have these in your game. Again, same principles. Remember, moving him all over the place and then catching this foot, and then we lift with our right foot, and then I can pull this leg out from underneath him. And then once again, my left leg, I like to retract my left leg. Now you have both legs on the inside. You have his leg over here. Got leg attacks.